Hey everyone, it's Rob Van Dyson here again, up in Hobble Creek. Today is 21st of June 2020. It's Father's Day. And I've had a couple of things just kind of come into mind right now as I'm trying to think of what I want to record my video on. Um, so, First off, for my birthday slash Father's Day, my wife and daughter got me a gym membership to Gold's Gym. They got themselves one too. They've actually been working on improving their fitness. And I work a fairly active job. I'm moving all day. I've actually lost a lot of weight since I've been there. I put on a lot of muscle um, since I've been there. So I haven't actually been making exercise a huge priority in my life. I figure I'm getting it at work. And while that is true, they got me the membership Friday. We've been Friday and Saturday. And I'm already beginning to feel the benefits. Not, as far as the way I physically look. As far as I know, I haven't lost any more weight. I'm starting to lay the foundation for putting on more muscle and getting stronger. But once again, I have a physical job. I have to be able to move around, so I've actually been taking it really slow. More of the high reps, low weight kind of thing. Trying to make sure that I'm not so sore that I can't actually do my job. But just the psychological effect of moving my body, moving loads, whether it's me moving my body on the treadmill, whether it's me actually moving weights, it's actually had a psychological effect. And even though I'm a little bit sore than I normally am, I'm feeling better. Go figure. So, a lot of the literature I've read, a lot of the podcasts I listen to, interviews I've watched or listened to or read, credit exercise as a major point, whether that's hiking, walking, lifting weights, whatever the case may be. And once again, I kind of, downplayed that mostly just because of my job. When I was working in offices and that kind of stuff, I knew I should be going to the gym and stuff like that. But I'm like, I have a physical job. I'll be fine. But the benefit of moving your body just to move your body, and this is all anecdotal, but I think it has a severe effect on you. And severe as in great, not as in bad. Anyways, there's enough literature out there about the benefits of exercise, and I'm not going to belabor that particular point. But as it is Father's Day, especially to the men out there, I'd like to wish you all first happy Father's Day if you're a father. And if you're not a father yet, this is a great day of taking a look around and saying, what kind of father do I want to be? Looking at the men in your life and around and say, okay, what can I take for positive and what can I take, that I want to make sure I implement? And what are some of the negative things that I want to make sure I don't implement? Or I like this concept, I don't like the execution. Or this person executed something I feel poorly, the benefits were well, but they did it for the wrong reasons. And fatherhood, like anything worth doing, is a complicated matter. Now, I grew up without a father. Vast majority of my life, it was just my mother and I think she did a real good job. Was she perfect? No. There's certain things I wish I learned more? Yes. But overall, I think she did a good job. And my daughter came into my life when she was 8. And, I started dating her mother, and the next thing I know, I had a very limited scope at first, but I'm starting to fill that father figure role. And I'm trying to think, am I doing this right? How am I doing it? I messed some things up bad. But, overall, at least according to my wife and daughter, what they tell me, they tell me I've done a decent job. And I'm grateful for that. And it's interesting, I grew up without a father. But I did have a grandfather. I did have neighbors, especially the Esoms, to help try and give me that perspective. My grandfather's a very good man, but he has his issues. I like to think I'm a good man, but I have my issues. But especially as a boy growing up, it's kind of like I always had to look outside of the home for my father figures, for my, okay, what does it mean to be a man? And I had some good scout leaders back when Boy Scouts was actually worth participating in. I had some good church leaders. I've had some good, family friends. I had some good uncles, And what's interesting is that they're all good men. They were all good influences on me, but they disagreed on a lot. But the main thing is like they were there for me. They helped me out when I had a problem. They worked within the bounds my mom set. And, I really don't want to think about what I would have turned out like if I didn't have a father and I didn't have those good men around me. And so in turn, I guess that means it behooves me to try and be that good man for other people. If nothing else, just by example. I'm no longer active in Scouts, but there's a lot of reasons for that. But it's like, okay, I can really try and be a good example. And my daughter, who's turning 18 in December, is going to be looking at me and saying, okay, here is my father. Here's what I like about him. Here's what I don't like about him. And she's going to judge her future husband based off of that metrics primarily. So, anyways, just some thoughts on the importance of fatherhood. There's a lot out there, and for whatever reason, and I've heard a lot of reasons, a lot of them I agree with them, the roles of fathers are, it's not celebrated anymore necessarily. It's not, there's always been deadbeat dads, There's deadbeat moms too. But the percentage of deadbeats that are dads has always been higher. But the role of a father used to be much better understood and much better respected. You only have to go back, 20, 50 years, and, the role of a father in a boy's life was well recognized. And yeah, there were, abuses of position and authority, and, it's definitely 50 years ago wasn't perfect. And in some ways we've gotten better, but sometimes I wonder how much we've gotten worse. How many young men are out there without direction because they don't have good father figures. I look at a lot of the skills that, I'm trying to teach myself as a 40-year-old, a 41-year-old now, that, 50 years ago, someone would have learned by the time they were 18, from their fathers. You know, how much of that I'm actually having to discover for myself. Fortunately, I live in an age where things like YouTube can help teach me, if not the practice, the theory of how to do something. And then I go out there and I stumble through it until I get it accomplished and start to learn the practice of it. Anyways, I don't want to go on too long. There's also people camping nearby, so I want to make sure I don't disturb them, and I want to end this before they get up and start making a lot of noise. Anyways, once again, reflect on your life and know what your dreams are and be working towards them. All right, Finn Dyson out.